big deal. And so anytime you win a home football game, it's an even bigger deal in that piece. And so I'm incredibly proud of these guys, proud of the fight that they came in with, proud of how we came out, and I thought we did a lot of really good things in this ball game. If you look at this ball game compared to other ball games, there's a lot of things that we wanted to improve on that we absolutely improved on. Now there's some things that we're all going to look on the film tomorrow and find out we need to do better in those spots. But it's a heck of a lot more fun to learn those things after a win than after a loss. And so I couldn't be more proud of how this team came out and played for 4 quarters. They never wavered. They never stopped. They never stopped believing in that piece. And man, they've got the heart of a lion. Now we got to fix some things that we can be better to put it all together. But man, this team will fight. That's for sure. Proud of that piece.
Coach, take me through the play where they scored the touchdown and then the 2 minutes after that.
Yeah, so we called the timeout right before the 2-minute timeout, and that's what we're trying to do. Is we're trying to call use one of our timeouts before the 2-minute because we know we're going to get another stoppage of play. So it really gets us more time on the back end of the 2-minute timeout. And so we called the timeout right before the 2-minute timeout. They got a first down on that play. We get the 2-minute timeout. It was 2 minutes, and we had 2 timeouts. And we knew we had to let them score on that next play to be able to get the ball back. We were up by 2. They were in field goal range in that spot. They kick a field goal right there. They beat us and they bleed the clock out even with our 2 timeouts. It was not enough time for us to get the ball back. Thought our defensive coaches did an excellent job of executing that. That's not something that's not in our day one install tapes of what to do. But I thought our kids did a great job. They believed in it. There wasn't any complaining about it. And then these guys, they made it all look really good at the end. Made me look smart.
Yeah, just to add to that question, what can you just say about your team's adversity through these 4 quarters? Delaware State took the lead a couple of times, and they just came back and regained the lead.
Yeah, if you look at it, and these 2 guys will tell you this too, is that a lot of our adversity is in our own locker room and that stuff. We got to fix those pieces, right? And so what we're trying to focus on with our team is focusing on us. And if we can fix our adversity, the opponent on that piece we think is just the next piece of the puzzle for us. If we can fix those things, but a credit to those guys. That quarterback, we knew he was good. Lyndall and I talked about it on Friday, and he lived up to the billing. And he's a really good quarterback. And we've played, I think, 5 games. I hope there's not any more running, athletic, fast quarterbacks because I think we've seen them all in the last 5 weeks. I'd like somebody that sits in the pocket maybe a little bit this next week if we could. So if we're asking for a Christmas wish list, that's what we're looking for.
These first few games, it seems like it's always a fumble here, interception, whatever it is, the turnover, it kind of changes things for you guys. From the looks of it was a clean game. None of that happened today. How did that affect the way you guys did today?
Yeah, I think it gave our guys and these guys, you can ask them the confidence to keep playing the next rep. And on offensively, we talk about playing the next rep and always playing the next rep. And we physically have played the next rep, but I don't know if we've ever physically or mentally cleared our minds and really put everything we have into the next rep when adversity comes. We had plenty of adversity in spots, but this guy over here, he minimized the bad plays, and people don't see those plays. They see the pass to Sincere, they see the runs in that spot. Chad had a couple snaps, he bobbled a couple snaps, and instead of that being a worse play, I think 2 of his best plays of the night where he kept playing football and he gave us a chance in that spot. And so the growth that this guy right here has done has been incredible. And so I can't wait to see what next week he continues to get better at.
Chad, you can jump in here. This is one of your best games, obviously, in your career here. For you guys to go out there knowing that you need to get a win at home in front of these fans, and you couldn't get it done last week, but for you to go out there and do what you did, especially that last drive, what is that like to do that for your team and to get you guys on the right track here at home?
I see the action because all my teammates, how we prep out the week, how we trust in each other, how we believe in each other. You got Coach Harris too, he believes in me too. So, just having that trust in that, just knowing that I got that trust in all my teammates, man. That just pushed me to be great. I can make a mistake, but all my teammates can't always saying squash that play, man, and just keep going. So to have that message, just have my job easier.
And you spread it around to different receivers today. So you had 2 go over 100 and 1 almost get there. And how important is that to keep this offense flowing, to have different guys?
That's very important. My O-line did great today, man. They kept holding up their blocks. We was out there just talking, just getting the pass pro right. So after we get that done, I can just spread the ball around. They got like 9, like 21. So we got our weapons all over the field. So the O-line just did their job. Coach called the right plays, and we just made the plays.
Yeah, and to just add to that, I mean, what were you seeing from their defense for you to be able to just find those open receivers in those crucial moments?
I mean, you know how I said, I got weapons everywhere. So I don't care what cover the defense is, we're gonna make a play. You feel me? There's weapons everywhere. I got 2 great running backs. I got 5, 6 receivers, and I got a great line. You know, so I don't care what the defense got to run. You know, I feel like hey, we ain't got to stop them. Our defense got to stop us. You feel me? So, yeah.
Sincere, another great game for you. This is a career year for you, career day, I believe, for you today, 3 touchdowns and all that. What have you been doing throughout this year to prepare yourself for each day and knowing how much of a role you're going to have in this offense each week? What are you doing for each week?
100%. So I kind of challenged myself. You know, around this time last year, I had to sit out. So I kind of challenged myself personally on things that I do outside of football, such as, you know, just the basic human life things. You know what I'm saying? I try to just work on my habits, try to work on, you know, certain things that I lack in certain areas of my life. So, you know, ever since the start of the season, you know, now we're bringing football into the picture. You know, like when Coach came in, he challenged me out the rip. So it's like, okay, you know, he didn't know who I was, I didn't know who he was. So at the end of the day, you know, I live up, I feel like I answered that challenge and I'm going to continue to do it.
To move forward, you know, you guys obviously get this win at home and you end the losing streak you had, and you know, what are you guys saying after getting this win and knowing the fashion that you did it?
Yeah, we're gonna definitely celebrate this win today, you know, but you know, tomorrow on Sunday it's about getting better. It's about how can we get back to center, how can we be better than yesterday's game, you know what I'm saying? It's all about, you know, next play, next rep, no matter what it is, it's always about what's next and getting better.
Coach, another tough team coming in here, so you're gonna finish the homestand with another tough team coming in. Guys, this program knows about that team. You know, you guys have a little history, short history the last few years. And you know, what are you thinking about, just early thoughts about that game and how you guys can try to come out on top of that one too?
I know nothing about them this year, if we're being completely honest. I mean, I know their history of the program is they're a competitive team. You know, Coach has built that program each and every year that they're a top 25 team year in and year out. Maybe I'm the young head coach that hadn't figured it out yet, but I turn all my attention to Delaware State and worry about them. And then tomorrow night about 7:30, I'll get to my office after all their meetings and I'll turn on the film and we'll see the next challenge. You know, I think it's fun. I think a challenge, you know, a game like NC Central is a really fun game for our kids and our fans and our community to play in, right? Like one of the unique things about the state of North Carolina is all the Division I football that's right here in the state in that spot, right? And so that's what makes it cool is that you get to play somebody you know, they're down the street from you. You know, these guys probably know guys on that team. You know, I don't know hardly anybody besides my wife and kids. I go home, go to church, and come up here, so I don't know a whole lot of people. But you know, those are fun games to play in. That you get good crowds that travel in that spot. You know, I think that's one of the things that makes North Carolina football in the Division I level. I think it's really cool because I mean, you're talking about there's so many in-state schools that are right around the road that you can create those rivalries in that spot. So we'll have our hands full, that's for sure, and we're excited about the opportunity.
Coach, talking about North Carolina football, one of the emphasis of your head coaching tenure that you want to make is in-state recruiting.
Yeah.
Well, it doesn't get more local than JJ.
Come on now, y'all hadn't asked me about Harnett County's finest? Come on now.
The hometown kid gets his first collegiate career touchdown.
Yeah.
How does that make you feel as a head coach, and how was that on the sideline?
Man, JJ is, when I first got here, I got here on campus like January 3rd, 4th, something like that. These guys might be able to tell you a little different in that spot. Within a week, I was at Triton High School, and I went over there and I talked to coach over there, and then the first guy I met was JJ, and sat down with that kid. And before I could get to see JJ, the counselor, the lady at the desk, and they all said, "You're here to see JJ. You're here to see JJ." They love JJ, and not just as a football player, they love him as a person right there. And so before I'd even got to meet JJ, I knew we wanted JJ because all these people speak so highly of him in that spot. And you couldn't. I mean, that's perfect. What a great night for him at home. Second home game right there. But the thing about that kid, like him being from Harnett County, didn't give him anything. He went and earned. I mean, you watch the film. I mean, that sucker is running right there. And so yes, we're excited about that piece. Excited how he can continue to grow as well.
When you look at your offense, to run 65 plays, 457 yards of total offense today, everything just seemed to be clicking, and it started on the first drive. Talk talking about those explosive plays that you really want to execute.
Yeah, and we really felt this way coming in after the week of work that we had, and it wasn't I told you, like, we really felt good about the work that we put in. These guys had a really good week of work. We had a really good Tuesday. We connected them. We really had a good Wednesday, and the execution was really good in those spots. And so we know that we have weapons. We have guys that can physically do it. Our off the line, I mean, they deserve more credit than anybody because they're working with some guys that are down on the depth chart that are fighting, and they may be third on the depth chart, but if you turn on the film, they don't look like third, right? And they're playing their tail off. And so a credit to those guys. These guys are just going to keep getting better, right? The more time, the more consistency they get in the offense, and being able to understand the intricacies of each of those, why we're calling this, how we're trying to attack this piece. They're just going to keep getting better in that spot.
And let's give the big fella some love. Chad, you get your center back in this game. How does he add to the game as far as pass protection and you being able to get the ball in your hands?
Yeah, my job much easier, man. He's so smart, so I ain't really got to do too much. Coach caught a pass, bro. He dotted up front, and then I just handled the rest, honestly, man. So that's big. Yeah.
You threw for 323 yards today, 3 touchdowns, and you spread the ball all over the place. Is there something that goes through your mind when you have a game like this?
Just keep going. Just keep getting better. Because the sky's the limit, man. We ain't even got to our peak yet. We're not even close to it. So.
I think you bring up a great point, and I want to bring it out about Mason, right? That shows a characteristic of our program, that guys are fighting to get back in, right? That's one of the first things that I've been around when I've been a part of championship programs. Guys don't milk injuries and well, I'll just wait till the next week. They know because they care about these guys. They care about their teammates. He's not at 100%, but he fought his way to be able to get back in that piece. Every championship football team I've been a part of, they had guys that if they were injured, hey man, they were about to fight the training as hard as they were the opponent to get. And that's the exciting thing of seeing that in the guys like Mason. And so don't mean to interrupt you there, but man, that's a huge characteristic that we see that maybe y'all don't always see in that piece, but that shows the character of this program.
Since here we talked last week about Flow State and what it's like to have a big game and putting your head down, and you're not one to talk on the field, but you let your game do the talk, and you think that today was one of those days?
Definitely. At the end, even though the ref got me, for the celebration at the end, that kind of scared me a little bit, but I was like, I just trust my guys, trust the coaching, and, things happen.
Yeah, it was a great game all around, and you said it best when we talked that as you go, you feel like you take your guys with you. Well, you brought VJ with you, who also had a 100-yard game today. What is that like for your locker room and the wide receiver?
So I know I'm an older guy in this offense, and we don't have a lot of experience in our offense, so I kind of, as being an older guy, I try to, set examples and on the field, off the field, different type of ways, especially in the classroom also, because at the end of the day, people look up to me. No matter what age, it could be kids, out there playing the game, it could be people on our team. So I try to, make sure I stay centered and make sure I keep my head down, grind, and just be at my peak. Try to at least.
Yeah.